I want to be respected as a human being.
The issue is not just about us, but it matters to every single woman.
If you're a woman in Japan and you don't want to have children, you better ask your husband's permission first. Women face up to a year in prison if they get a sterilisation procedure without their partner's consent. And even then, it's only allowed under strict conditions, such as if their life is at risk. For Rina Sato, that has to change.
Everybody expected me to have baby in the future, and I hated it. I just wanted to remove my capability of pregnancy from my own body, so why do they decide about my body?
Sato is one of 5 women fighting to reclaim the rights over their bodies. They've launched a lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court. But this fight isn't just about the law. It's about economic dilemmas, post-war reconstruction, and one of the darkest chapters in Japanese history. Let's start with a quick sex ed lesson. Sterilisation is a form of permanent birth control. Men can get a vasectomy to block the flow of sperm, while women can have their tubes tied to prevent the passage of eggs. But under Japan's Maternal Health Act, women can only get this done if their life is in danger or if they already have kids and another pregnancy would impact their health. Human rights attorney Michiko Kameshi says that violates their rights to self-determination.
This law is rooted in an older law created in 1940. The Japanese Civil Code at that time had a family system, and married women had no right to make any decisions.
Kameshi is leading a lawsuit that aims to overturn these restrictions. She is representing several women, each seeking the sterilisation procedure for different reasons.
I identify myself as asexual, aromantic, and I've never feel romantic feeling to women or men. I feel uncomfortable with having reproductive capability, so I feel uncomfortable with my own body.
Another plaintiff, Hitsu Taitsuta, says the pressure to have grandchildren caused her severe distress towards her own body, and she doesn't want others to feel the same way.
I want to be respected as a human being. I want to live not as someone's daughter or someone's mother.
It's not about the people who don't want to have baby, but it's about every single woman. It's about abortion, it's about contraception.
Japanese politicians are mainly older men. No matter how much women speak out, changing the law through politics is very difficult.
Japanese women are not just fighting the law, but a society in crisis. Japan has one of the lowest birth rates in the world, and the government is desperate to reverse what looks like a terminal decline in population and economic growth.
The situation is awful. We are under pressure of having baby, and it's getting bigger and bigger due to the population decline in Japan. They think that the problem is happening because of us, like young women, because we're being too selfish. I almost feel like it's taboo to say that I don't want to have baby.
High childcare costs, declining marriage rates, and a demanding corporate culture are among the reasons for the falling birth rate. So why does Japan even have these laws? National eugenics laws were introduced in 1940 and revised in 1948. And those laws paved the way for the sterilisation of 25,000 people, many against their will. It's related to a pseudoscience which advocates the selective breeding of people with certain qualities. People with disabilities, mental illness, and children as young as 9 had their chance at starting a family snatched away. The idea was to grow the population in a controlled way, and women were prevented from being sterilised for non-eugenics purposes.
I am very angry about this fact. At all times, governments have been trying to prevent women from making decisions.
After decades of anger and advocacy, the Japanese government apologised in 2019 and offered some compensation to victim survivors. And while the eugenics laws were revoked in 1996, their legacy lives on in the legislation that replaced it, the Maternal Health Act. Legislation that prevents women from making decisions about their bodies.
The decision to have a baby or not to have a baby is one of the most essential rights that affect how you want to live your life. So it is the same issue.
We want to decide our own future and take control of our own bodies by ourselves. It's not complicated.